Guys, so in this video we will discuss what is Git and GitHub, and we will also see a real demo how you can use GitHub using command line and understand the basic commands, the most used commands. And also we will talk about GitHub and see how we can use GitHub in our projects. So talking about Git is very simply a version control system for tracking changes in the files. What that means is whenever you're working on a software project, multiple changes you are doing to the file, maybe other people are also working on the same project, they are also doing some changes, adding, deleting stuff. So you want a system to automatically track all these. So there are a lot of version control systems. Git is one of them. Why version control is important? You want to store multiple versions of the file because maybe your code was working fine, you did some change and now it's not working, so you want to revert to the old version, right? So even only if you store those versions can you revert back. And collaboration, of course, multiple people working, you want to know who is working on what there. As a backup also, it serves when you are using it as pushing something to a remote location like GitHub, which we will just discuss. So there it acts as a backup, so even if your laptop crashes, you have something on the remote server you can always retrieve. GitHub, on the other hand, is nothing but a platform to store GitHub. So it's an online platform, and you can think of it as Google Drive. You're working offline on your computer, then you store that data there so that you don't lose your code. Okay, so we will see real structure and then come back to the theory again, right? So what I will do is make a small directory. If you don't know these how to use command line, you can see other videos of mine. So we made a directory. Now we will change directory to this, right? We are in this directory. Now if I say the first basic command of Git is the most used command, Git Status, just to see, it says not a Git repository or any parent directories .git, right? So how to make a directory, a Git directory? So if I do Git init, now it says initialized empty Git repository in this, right? And this is the, also you see there is some Git master, this has come. We will come to a point to understand what this means. Okay, now you have three important concepts I think we should go over. These are the three main sections of Git. Okay, so one is the working directory, which we created. Right now we created a directory which is the working directory, which is a normal folder that you create. Then there is a staging area, right? We will come to what this means. And then is the Git directory, which we created by doing git init, right? So working directory, when we do mkdir, this was created using git init. We'll come to this section of staging area also, but you have to understand these three different sort of sections: the working directory, which is the main file system, then there is a staging area, and then there is a Git repository. Now we will create a file, say, so we created this file, the file is here, right? Also you see there's a small cross coming here. This just shows. So if I do Git status, so now there's some different kind of stuff it is showing. Let's read it. It says on branch master, no commits yet, on tracked files, learning Git, and nothing added to commit, right? But untracked files present. So what this means is, again I'll come to this diagram. So these are the different status of the files. Okay, so whenever a file is created, then it's untracked, which we just did, right? So first we have, as I said, there are three sections. So first is working directory, then staging area, then Git repository. So the created file right now is in the working directory. It's untracked. Okay, to track that file, to put that file in the Git repo, we will have to add the file. Now to add the file, we'll have to do git add. Okay, now let's see Git status. So it says changes to be committed, right? New file, right? So where the file is now, so if I add the untracked file, the file that I created, it goes to the staging area, right? So it's in the staging area. Now it says changes to be committed, right? Now to commit it, I'll have to do git commit -m first commit, right? So it says one file change, create mode, learning it. So now let's see if I do a commit to the staging area file, it goes into the git repo, right? So it's in the git repo. Now if I do git status, I see nothing to commit on branch master clean, right? Now let's do some changes to this file. We will add second commit because first commit we did, right? Now we have changed this file. Again this cross appears. This means there are some some modified changes which you have not pushed to your git repo, right? So we do git status. Now what should come? It says modified. Coming back, modified, right? So once you do untracked, it becomes tracked, and then you added it, and then once a tracked file is edited, it becomes modified, right? Unmodified we edited, it became modified, and now we have to stage the file. So you can think of staging as a interface or a stage between the commit, which is the git repo, and the modification, right? So once you modify it, first you have to stage it by doing git add, and then you have to uh, commit it by doing git commit. So we can do git add. Also another important command is git diff. So git diff tells you what is the change you are going to add, right? So this is the change, we added this file, it says, okay. So we'll do git add and this file. Now do git status. Git status is like your friend, always you have to, it says changes to be committed. Now it's in the staging area, right? You can also unstage it. It says use git reset head to unstage, but we'll not unstage, we'll do git commit -m in message, will just second commit, and right, it's now in the second commit. It says one file change, one insertion, right? So if we do git status, it's clean now, right? Because these changes, all changes are committed to the git repo. There is nothing which is not committed, which is in the maybe the working tree or in the staging area. Everything is clean. This is what's saying. We can do a third commit also. Vim will do, okay, right? So we do git status. It says modified. Now to modified, from modified, if you want to stage, what you have to do, git add, right? Now do git status. Now it says changes to be committed, it's in the staging area. Now to commit, again repeating, to do commit you can say third commit, right? It's there. Now also to see all the commits, you can do just git log, it shows you all the commits, right? So this is basic, all the different files. You initiated a git repo, then you added a file, then you tracked that file, and when you added it was untracked, when you did git add, then it got tracked, and then you did changes, and automatically you see how it's very nicely, you know, tracking all the changes you are doing in the file. You are doing nothing, like no extra burden. Maybe you have to follow certain commands, but it is working on its own, right? So now we will push this repo to GitHub. Okay, the great sort of mysterious thing, it's nothing. We'll just you can create an account on GitHub. My account is already there, but you can create, and once you create, if you go here and then do new repo, then this kind of interface will open. You can say learning Git, and I'll do private public. You can public, anyone can see. I generally do private, right? So it's now created. Now it says two options: create a new repo on the command line, or use a existing repo. So existing we'll use because we have already created in our local machine. Repo, when I say, is repository. So we'll have to do this. We'll do. So what I'm saying is, please add this this location as the remote of this repo. So I'm sort of syncing so that local repo is this, its remote sort of part is this one. So I'm adding that. Also I give a name to that because you can have multiple. So generally this definition we called it origin. So I'm adding, it's added, right? Then it says branch should be master, we are already there, right? So it's master, and then this. So this git push means push this local repository to the remote which we have defined here. We have given a URL to it, knows its location, and origin means the name of this, and master means the branch. We will not go into the branching and merging in this sort of video. It's a bit complicated, we'll do in the next video, but for now branch you can just think of it as a snapshot or as a variation of the code, right? So we are pushing it. It will ask for username and password for you. For me it did not ask because already I've already set. For you it will ask the username password you use to create the GitHub account, right? Now it's pushed. Let's see, is it there? Okay, right, you see, and I can see there are 3 commits, right? In the first commit, in the second commit, whatever we committed, right, it shows this file was added. So see how you can look at in a UI which is much more comfortable, right? And then you see we deleted this thing and we added this, right? And all the different things you can see, all the files in the repo you can see. So that's how you can then push your code to the remote branch, and other people can download this code, they can clone this code. Those are also some advanced topic we'll go into the next, and they can also collaborate and work with you. So I think, yeah, this is it. I'll